which is Baptiste. I haven't done an Overwatch VOD review in a while, so I really wanted to jump back into a few of these and try to catch up with some of the matches that were sent in. This is actually one of the higher rated matches. This is going to be in the 3900s, although since this match was sent in, this player has achieved Grandmaster. So congratulations. This VOD was sent in by a member of our community, Everett, with an X there. So congratulations. That's a huge accomplishment. I think you may have almost surpassed me, so I wanted to approach this from a different perspective than maybe some of the other matches I've done. I think that because you've sort of mastered your character, I think we're going to want to put in just some specific details. I want to help other members of the community, but I think that it'll be very useful for you if I'm just a little bit harsher than usual. I will, of course, say it in a loving way, but I want to go through this match and just see what we can teach other people and how we can help you to really get to the next level, because once you hit the 4200 realm, everyone is amazing, pretty much. I think that most people have mastered their given role. So, to achieve a higher skill, maybe to get into the 4500s in the top 500 rank, like top 100 in fact, you're going to really have to have your stats really increase that extra couple percentage points and just be thinking a little differently. So thanks for sending this in, and and again, congratulations on hitting that rank as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this match and see what we can learn. Alright, so we've got the match loaded up here, so let's go ahead and dive into this here. Your team has a Hanzo, Junkrat, Baptiste, Zarya, Roadhog, and Mercy. And they have Terry Crews, a Doomfist, Diva, Reinhardt, Baptiste, Lucio, and it looks like a McCree there, so they switched last second there to a Mercy. So we have a Mercy Bap combo. That's actually a pretty good combination in my experience. I still like him with Zenna, of course, but you're running into this match, and the first two things at this rank that I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to first see what they have on the other team, because again, I don't know, I have a bad feeling about Terry Crews. Maybe he might be dangerous. Well, sometimes he might have an aggressive Doomfist who's pretty amazing, and that's something you want to be watching out for. One death at this rank can actually sort of throw the fight for your team. The first thing that I think is important here is that you're wanting to think about how are you going to play this match. Are you going to be a more defensive or offensive-minded Baptiste? At this rank, you really need to feel out your team as a support. Or is this a team, like for example, especially your main tank? Is this a tank who can take a lot of damage, knows how to poke the right way and take positions? Or is this like a diva who just runs in and takes a ton of damage? Regardless, at this rank, this is 3800s, but you're going to get a lot of 38 to 4100 players here. And ultimately, I think having a good idea about how you want to play it based on what team you have is really important. At this rank, especially, you're actually trusting your team to some regard. Like, someone who's in Platinum maybe hasn't mastered their character, but around this rank, some of these people they know how to play their character probably better than you do to some degree. So there has to be some level of trust and adjustment. So that's what I would decide here going into this fight, is how you're going to use like your immortality field, etc. You're going to be aggressive with it. So let's see what happens. You're pushing on the side position, which is good. That Doom's going to flank you for sure with a punch. Okay, so one of the things that I think is super important just to add here, and I'm seeing already, is with Baptiste, the angle of his grenade, like his main weapon, it's kind of difficult to land the shot. you want to be careful of snipers and not be using your exo boots to kind of jump up really high all the time. But at the same time, I think that you do want to have an upward angle when you're shooting down to increase your output. So right here, for example, you could have done a little leap here and just had a little bit better, because again, if you're on the ground, the angle you're going to get, you'll probably get like a 5 to 10% degree reduction or like overshot. So I think you could increase your ult output by an extra couple percentage, just improve the angles here. So I think that's what I would say there. And then secondly, you did use your regeneration. I personally tend to try to damage when I've used my regeneration. You can see here that you're healing. I find the extra grenade heal boost tends to overheal. You can see it here in action, like this Hanzo's almost healed. You have some time left on this. Again, it was almost unnecessary. If you had used your damage here, you probably could have gotten an extra like 20%. And I think at this rank, to some degree, it's about countering, but it is also about who gets their ult first. And so I think that getting that extra 10 to 15% is going to put you over your competition. That's super important, those details. And of course, you can see this Doomfist diving in here. So let's see who he kills right here. Oh, excellent. Okay, that was good. Great job by your Roadhog. Okay, again, I would probably do a little more jumping, just get that angle. Okay, that was a good job of holding the position there behind the pillar. I like that. I'm seeing a sense, I think just a teensy bit reduction on the sensitivity could help. Small though, very small, not a lot. But definitely I would just go through those settings, maybe slow down a little bit. That was a good shot. So, okay, that was kind of interesting because you kind of, if we go back here, we can see it looks like, okay, you kill him, then you sort of, so yeah, you sort of just did a little dance there, and you're not really, you could have been kind of getting some shots off or heals right there. Just wasted an extra second or so. I would also be trying to take the high ground here. I see a little bit too much time spent on the low ground. Really great, I would say prioritization of targets though so far, but for sure you're gonna want to, like for example here, I would try to pop on that high ground a little bit. Okay, again, I think a big thing I'm seeing here is like with your grenades, you should try to be getting a little bit better angles just to increase your ult output. Okay, I like that. That was some good DPSing right there. Good timing. That was a really good immortality field. I like that you used it in a defensive way. So maybe that's more your style. Again, you got to 4200, so clearly you improved a little bit from here. So I'm gonna try to judge you for that skill there. Okay, good. I like your positioning with your team is pretty good. I like that. That's a safe positioning. Take that high ground there if you can. Okay, and you're waiting. Alright, good DPSing. Try to get that shield down. That person over there looks, they're way out of position. I'm not sure. Looks like that's the Hanzo. I'm not sure what they're doing over there. Okay, again, I'm not seeing a lot of use of the exo boots. Yeah, there's Terry Crew. I knew. Let's just stop and just say, I mean, you can just tell sometimes by the Smurf names, like if there's enough symbols, then you know that's it. Like you're done. It's probably some like top 10 player just having fun. Especially, I will say, and this is going to be a more controversial statement, but at this rank, you're totally going to get some top 500 Smurfs in here. It is brutal in the 36 to 3800 area, especially. It can be pretty tough. So that's something to think about. Okay, so let's jump back into this here. You got punched by Terry Crews, and there's no shame in that. You haven't died a lot or anything like that, so it's been actually pretty impressive so far. I see a lot of things that you could improve, but not big things, which is good. Ooh, you almost got him. I think, actually, I may have waited to see, like, he did. This is just a really big detail, or like a little detail here, but he kind of. Let's go back here. Basically, you almost get him, and then he goes to the side there to hide, but you know that he has to go back in that room to get back up. I don't think he had his jump. Look here, yeah, see, he stopped. He went back through there. You could have waited at the door just with a little bit of DPS mindset there. Okay, that was smart. I like that. That's always good form right there. Just try to keep your Mercy up when the Mercy's rezzing. That's a really good form. I like that. It's almost like, I don't know if you know Pete Rose, but he was a baseball player, and whenever he would get a walk, like he would just sprint to first base. That was his thing, even if he, got, so I guess I'm just trying to say you want to have, the effort is what's important here. You want to be practicing good form so that when it happens, you're ready for it. Okay. Definitely you're going to want to group up. This is a tight match here. We've got, I would say 2 more fights here realistically, but still. Okay, alright. Going with the team there, that's not bad at all. Alright, so we're going in together. I'm seeing a lot of things I like. I'm seeing some things I would make small changes on for sure. Especially like the angling on your grenades. I think that's probably the biggest thing I see there. I would also really try to do DPS when you use your regeneration. That was pretty good there. I do see a little bit, in general, you're going to want to try to focus on doing damage while the regeneration's up, because again, like I said, it tends to be overheal when you use your grenades as well as the regeneration. And you can actually get a bigger ult charge. Looks like you guys are going to lose this round here. So again, I'm seeing a lot of really good plays. Let's talk about what you did well and what I think you could improve just based on that one round. I would check my sensitivity. Maybe just lower it a teensy bit, not a lot, just a little bit. 0.1, 0.2, something like that. I would, because you're at this level, that kind of thing can make a difference. Again, 1 to 2% increase on the ult output will put you ahead of the opposing player. I think this is true in all ranks, but especially in GM and High Masters, you're going to be, if you're outplaying the opposing player, like your mirror on the other team, then you're winning. That's a big thing to say, That's often the most you can really do at this rank, is just outplay the opposition in your respective role. So we're going into this fight. A bit of a split here. Alright, again, yeah, you're angling down, which is good with the nades. That I like in terms of just where you're aiming, but I think you could actually, again, do a little more use of your exo boots. I would also maybe try to take in this fight. So I think at this rank as well, having map-specific positions and skills is super important. Knowing where to stand. And I think for me on this level, I really like Baptiste up on the top here. So if you can get over there, take that high ground, that's a super powerful position. But of course, the flip side being Hanzo's, Tracers, and other high-level players are going to take that position too. So, be wise about it, but the more you can hold high ground, the better at this rank. Okay, good DPSing there. I like the mix. Again, you see now there you did it again where you use your regeneration and your healing nades. I think you're probably getting some overheal there. So I would probably, when you're using regeneration, just try to be more conscious about doing DPS during that time. Not always, of course, but especially, for example, like a diva who runs in and takes a lot of damage. That's going to be one of those situations where you're going to want to use your nade too. Okay, that was a good. You got the lamp, so that was pretty good. I'm not sure about that lamp usage. I think that was a mistake, actually, right there. It was just a solo lamp. I think that. So I would say that was a pretty medium error. I would have definitely used that differently. And again, you were not on high ground, and you could have been taking a back position. So that is something I think right there that play could have been a little bit better. You see your tanks are still there. You've got 4 on point. Had you lived this fight, you might have won this fight. It looks like Terry Crews is going to clean up. Oh, maybe not. Maybe you'll hold this. Regardless, I think that was good. That was a good lamp. Still, you could have actually backed up behind the walls right there. I think that you are using your exo boot a little bit more right here. So I would have backed up, saved your lamp. Again, you have 11-second cooldown. You could have saved maybe your junk right there or yourself right here. Well, Terry Crews is not happy. Alright, I like seeing tight angles like this where you're hiding in hallways and things. That's good. Again, you should be on high ground here. A little bit too much focus on kind of staying below. Okay. There you almost got on it. You have your lamp here. I would really try to line up with your team before you use it. There's 3. Okay, that was good. You got punched by Terry Crews. There's nothing you can do about that. It looks like your team may win this fight, though, so that's fantastic. Okay, so it looks like we've got a 1-to-1 match. You guys pretty much crushed that round. What did you do differently there? I think for you personally, it wasn't as much changes from you. I think your team did make some switches. I do think still that, they're still running a Doom when you got a Sombra and stuff, so there's that, but you've been playing pretty decently here. Again, I would aim to get that ult about 15% faster. That's what I would aim for, 10 to 15%. And I think you can do that with some of those tips there. Alright, so I think one of the big things I'm seeing here also is map positioning. I think you don't seem to have like specific map points that you're holding. I think that would be really helpful for your rotations. At 3800 it matters a little bit less, but for 4200, which is where you said you were at, that's going to really matter, rotations, positions. That's again goes along with trusting your team. And I find that in other ranks you don't get a lot of that kind of movement, so I would go to each map. There aren't that many maps. Try to look at where some of your favorite streamers are holding position. I like high ground usually, but you're going to want to be a little bit more mindful about implementing those kind of changes, because like I said, what's the difference between a master and a GM is maybe like 1 or 2 good or bad plays. The master might die an extra couple times, 2 times, 1, 2 times, but also may not have the ability to rotate and doesn't know necessarily how to like trust their teammates fully. I like what I see here. That was good. That was a really good use. I Exo boots, shoot that right there if you can. Okay, good usage of your grenades are a little bit better. I still would try to just leap up a little more. Maybe you could hold that center console. It would take some of the pressure off of you, and you'd have better angle. Like you could be on. Like that's where I'd probably be right now. Looks like you guys are gonna lose this fight though. Okay. And hopefully you guys reset. You're definitely winning this fight. So again, but I don't think I think every match should be kind of viewed as a learning opportunity. Again, even when you win like this, there are still moments to. That was good. I like that. Terry Crews got a little bit greedy there. Alright, so we're continuing in. It looks, again, I really, that's the one thing that I think is bothering me the most. It's just, you probably want to just be a little more mindful of A, the regeneration thing, and B, leaping up a little bit more to try to get better angle to give you that extra 5 to 10% to help you A, just get more heal output, but B, also to help you build your ult charge too. Good res by your Mercy. Not a lot you can do there, especially as Baptiste with if a really aggressive Doomfist is there, it's tough. I think that's the one other thing I would say. We have talked privately, but at this rank, I do think you're not going to want a one trick. You're going to want to have some flexibility. So, in this scenario, I might switch to another. I mean, actually, I like Baptiste here, but you're just always wanting to be mindful about what's going to give you the best results. Maybe you need to give a Lucio for a speed boost with your Rhine, or Zenyatta. Zenyatta's not going to do great with this kind of Doomfist, but just something to think about there. I think you guys have lost this fight here. It looks like great heals on your Mercy. That's a sign of greatness right there. Keeping up your other support, that's number one. That's for me, for Nathan ASMR, that's number one, like, support ability is keeping up your other support. I think that's, I see it not very often with lower ranks, but for really high ranks, you see it, and that's such an important thing to do. Not always, like, there's some self-healing for Lucio and for Ana with her grenade. I mean, sometimes you want to focus on your tanks and stuff, but I like to, you just always want to be aware. Great shot there, great DPS. You've kind of unlocked your DPSing a little bit more here, and towards the end of the game. Seems like you kind of warmed up a little bit, which is good. Okay, there you go, doing a little, there's some leaping. Again, you did the regeneration, you should be DPSing. An extra second or two would give, there we go, great job. That would be, that would give you, though, just like, let's say here, now you'd have 50% charge. That kind of thing is really important. This is so close. What's gonna happen? 99%, 1-1 tie. There's quick switch Lucio. You got, of course, at this rank, you really need a character that can get back quickly. You need to be able to play Lucio or Hamster if you're a tank, or you need to have somebody there. I'd like to see a little more wall riding. I'm not gonna get too far into Lucio. It's just a getting back character right now. Wow, what a match! First of all, thank you so much for sending this match in. I really appreciate it. That was so interesting to watch. Just essentially how you play Baptiste, and I think there's a lot of great things to learn. I kind of tailored my advice more for high rank, so I think this is advice that I think everybody will find useful, but specifically those small changes can make really big differences. What did I like? I like that you healed your Mercy, your other support. You had a really good grasp on what was happening. You didn't look lost at any point. Your positioning was okay. You did stay with your team, which was really good. You used your immortality most of the time in a good way, which I really liked. There was a few times you used it a bit solo, which I personally probably wouldn't have done. But it wasn't bad, and there were some moments that you did save your team, which were crucial. What else? For 4200, I think the things that are going to really help you here, again, you need to get the angle with your grenade shot, so you need to be probably using your exit woods a little bit more. Be mindful of the sniper when you, of course, do use those boots, but that's going to give you an extra 10% right there. You're having a little bit of overshot and overheal. The regeneration, you really should try 90% of the time, I would say, to be doing DPS while you're using your regeneration. I find that if you're healing with your grenades at the same time as the regeneration, you're gonna find that it's kind of overhealing, and you could be getting more value in ult charge with DPSing. Your window usage was medium. I might try to get a little bit more angle in open spaces. You were sort of using them in tight spots. I might try to find a little bit better usage there. One other thing, your sensitivity. I think I see this probably as the most common mistake for most people playing, but I would reduce it maybe 0.2 or something around there. It just looks like it needs, I don't know what your DPI is, but it did look like some smoothing out might be needed there. I like to run 800 DPI. I think looking at your mouse settings and getting those perfect can really make a difference at that rank. So I would investigate that, maybe reduce your sensitivity in game by just maybe 1.1, 0.2. That'll just give you a little bit less twistiness. I saw just a little bit like kind of just looking around, like not what, like you knew what was going on, but your actual aim, like because you were moving so like with such sensitivity, you couldn't aim maybe that 0.01 second faster. And at that rank, that kind of speed difference is really what makes like great players, is small minute differences consistently over time. I didn't really look at your aim too much with your DPSing. I did see some moments where you got a little bit passive, and I think you could have finished off 1 or 2 extra kills there, so always be looking out for that last little burst damage. He does have that little, he does have a pretty powerful weapon, so, you know, you could have gotten the Doomfist maybe 1 or 2 times, but overall you didn't overdo it, so you do have a pretty good set of skills. It looks very balanced. I see why you got to 4200 here. There wasn't anything huge that was glaring to me. I thought mostly it was those small changes which will make a big difference. Ult generation. And lastly, you may want to consider just having Ana and some of these other, Mercy was already chosen there, but Mercy, Ana, Lucio, Zen, Moira. While she's fun in the lower ranks, I think around 4200 you're not going to get almost any usage out of her, and only very specific situations. So I would try to have like definitely either Lucy or Zen, and then also Ana. If you do have an amazing Genji on your team, you know, that's just one of those things at that rank that you just almost always need. And I would say the last thing is Bap has had some ups and downs, and I would say he's not as powerful as he was a couple seasons ago, where he was a must pick. He was almost like Mercy in the first seasons there, which is like, if you don't choose Baptiste, you're gonna lose. But I do think he's a strong, powerful character. He has his places, and clearly you can rank up with him because Everett did, and I think it's clear that that works. So thank you so much for sending this in. And again, if you want to send in your VODs, I am still a little bit behind, but I think by the end of this month or next, I'll be caught up. And so if you want to send them in, I'll take a look. That's nathanasmrs at gmail. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.